Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome, man. Welcome to Beyond Classic Rock. Today, man, I've got a complimentary quad coming your way. It's featuring the music of a band called the Weakerthans. And they're a Canadian band, and never heard of them, man, so it'll be quite interesting to see what they're all about. We're going to start off with a song called Anchorless, followed by This is a Fire Door Never Leave Open, followed by Plea from a Cat Named Virtute, and finally, Night Windows. So, man, before I pop this off, I just want to give a shout out and a thanks very much to Hayato Rucker. I hope I pronounced that right, man. Please correct me if I didn't. Thanks very much for the recommendation. I appreciate it. And also the links being provided. Thank you for that, too. So, let's hit this. Oh, yeah. Hayato has a note. He says, Hi, Hayato here. This quad will be Winnipeg's own the Weakerthans. I linked a song from each of their 4 albums in order of release. Hope you enjoy. Right on. I'm sure we will, man. Thank you very much. Always open to checking out something new on this platform, for sure. So, first up, Anchorless, the Weakerthans. Let's get it.
That you're finally dying through a veil of childish cries. Southern Manitoba, prairies pulling at the pant leg of your bad disguise. So why were you so anchorless? A boat abandoned in some backyard.
A boat abandoned in some backyard. I like that. Cheers.
Shoebox full of photos, found a grainy mirror, sunken cheeks and slender hands, grocery lists and carbon copy letters offer silence for my small demands. Hey, how'd you get so anchorless? A boat abandoned in some backyard. Anchorless, the small town that you lived and died in. Got an armchair from your family home. Got your PG Woodhouse novels and your telephone. Got your plates and stainless steel. Got that way of never saying what you really feel. So anchorless, boat abandoned in some backyard. Anchorless, the small town that you lived in.
Okay, man. So that's the Weakerthans. Anchorless. That's what they sound like. I uh I was thinking about, I don't know, a Hollywood success story gone terribly wrong. You know, we've all heard about them, right? They're on top of the world one day and just coming unglued the next day, and just that snowballing effect, you know? Yeah, but in this case, I think he's singing more about maybe a girlfriend of the past, or maybe a school colleague, or somebody like that they probably grew up watching and were always not very anchored, or maybe they were at the peak of success at one point, and because they are not very, very anchored, they're going to lose it all. Something along those lines. Good song though. Good sounding band. Lead singer has a very interesting way of delivering. It's very, very level, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it. But his singing is clear. His vocal delivery is on point and clear. That's what I always look for from a vocalist. That's the measuring stick that I've got. I need to understand what the hell it is they're saying. That's basically it. That qualifies in my mind. That's half the battle right there. So let's get into these guys, man. See what they're about. See what their music is about, and then go from there. So the The Weakerthans are an award-winning and Juno-nominated Canadian indie rock band from Winnipeg. The band, led by John Cake Sampson, has released 4 studio albums. Anchorless appears on Fallow. It's the debut studio album by the Weakerthans. It was released in '97 on G7 Welcoming Committee Records in Canada, and in '99 on Sub City Records in the US. That's quite a big difference from '97 to '99 between the two countries. That's really, really a big gulf. I wonder why. The songs Letter of Resignation and Anchorless were originally written for Propagandy, the band which John K. Sampson left to form the Weakerthans. Letter of Resignation appeared on the Propagandy FYP split 7-inch, and Anchorless on the album Less Talk, More Rock. Epitaph Records, the band's current label, re-released Fallow along with Left and Leaving in Canada on November 6, 2007. Okay. All music review by Mike DeRonco. Mike says, "These guys are laid back, almost folky at times, but in a way that couldn't be categorized as a hippie band. Lyrically, Sampson's pen has a sharp, poetic tone, making it impossible for one not to be taken into his stories. Just imagine Jawbreaker meeting the Smokin' Popes, but with a relaxed energy level that doesn't bore the listener. They even successfully incorporate a bow saw into their music. How? Into their music. How about that for innovation?" Okay. Okay, there's no mix in there. All right, no breaks. I get it. They even successfully incorporate a bow saw into their music. How about that for innovation? Okay, that's where the comma should have been. All right, or the period rather. So let's hit up our next track, man. That being, This Is a Fire Door, Never Leave Open. The Weakerthans. I wonder how they came about that name. Wikipedia is not telling me. If you know, please share. Alright, the Weakerthans. This is a fire door, never leave open. Let's get it.
sometime.
All straight lines circle sometime. I've never heard that before.
You said somewhere there's a box full of replacement parts too. All the tenderness we've broken or let rust away. Somewhere sympathy is more than just a way of leaving. Somewhere someone says I'm sorry. Someone's making plans to stay. So tell me it's okay. Tell me anything or show me there's a pull unassailable that will lead you there from the dark alone to benevolence that you've never known or you knew when you were four and can't remember. Where a small knife tears at those sloppy seams and the silence knows what your silence means. Your metaphors, as mixed as you can make them, are linked like days together. Headlights race towards the corner of the dining room and half illuminate a face before they disappear.
I think he's suffering from some bittersweet nostalgia there. This is a fire door, never leave open. I would have to listen to this song again. I feel like I missed a couple of things. But that's what I'm getting from it, that it's kind of like a very bittersweet, nostalgic thing going on in his mind's eye more so, and of course his emotions. This is a fire door, never leave open. Appears on Left and Leaving. It's the second studio album by the Weakerthans, released July 25, 2000 on G7 Welcoming Committee Records. In In Chart Magazine's 2005 poll of the top 50 Canadian albums of all time, Left and Leaving ranked in 6th place. It was also nominated for Alternative Album of the Year at the 2001 Juno Awards. Aside appears on the soundtrack of the film Wedding Crashers. A punked-up alternate version of My Favorite Chords, retitled My Favorite Power Chords, appears on G7 Welcoming Committee's 2005 promotional compilation Take Penicillin Now. Epitaph Records, the band's current label, re-released Left and Leaving along with Fallow in 2007. Again, another release. Why was it necessary to re-release these albums after only a couple of years? What happened there? Is it because they switched labels? If you know this, get back to me on that. I'm curious. All right. All Music Review. Chris Grimshaw. Chris says, "The personal remains the political. Which way you want to cut it. The personal remains the political, whichever way you want to cut it." There we go. Winnipeg's Weakerthans embody this ethic better than most of on their... Jeez, man. Sorry, y'all. Let me try this shit again, man. Winnipeg's Weakerthans embody this ethic better than most on their second and long-awaited follow-up to their 1998 debut, Fallow. Splitting from Winnipeg's more punk propaganda, John Sampson is following a more melodic and introspective path while retaining much of the politics. Constructed of vignettes of precise moments in time and place, which manage nonetheless to speak volumes, Left and Leaving deftly mixes social commentary with folk and punk rock. This is an intelligent, literate album, and Sampson, a wordsmith the likes of Elvis Costello or Ron Sexsmith. Okay. Sorry, that was painful to get through, man. Sometimes it was just one straight slab of words. No commas, no periods, nothing, man. That entire paragraph that I read there had no breaks. Alright. Gotta love Wikipedia, man. Alright, let's hit up our next track. Plea from a Cat Named Virtute. I don't know why this song is going to be humorous. Just the title alone, I guess. Plea from a Cat Named Virtute. Let's get it.
Why don't you ever wanna play? I'm tired of this piece of string. You sleep as much as I do now, and you don't eat much of anything.
This is definitely from the cat's perspective.
I don't know who you're talking to. I made a search through every room, but all I found was dust that moved in shadows of the afternoon. And listen about those bitter songs you sing. They're not helping anything. They won't make you strong. So we should open up the house, invite the tabby 2 doors down. You could ask your sister if she doesn't bring her basset hound. Ask the things you shouldn't miss. Tape hiss in the modern man, the Cold War and card catalogs, to come and join us if they can. For girly drinks and parlor games, we'll pass around the easy lie of absolutely no regrets. And later maybe you could try to let your losses dangle off the sharp edge of a century. Talk about the weather or how the weather
I'm thinking about Garfield and John, the owner. Garfield had John wrapped around his finger, talking to Ralph.
Lick the sorrow from your skin, scratch the tear and begin to believe you're strong. All you ever want to do is drink and watch TV. Frankly, that thing doesn't really interest me. I swear I'm gonna bite you hard and taste your tinny blood. If you don't stop the self-defeating lies you've been repeating since the day you brought me home, I know you're strong.
Makes you wonder if cats really think that they're so independent, you know. They've got so much of a selfish persona, don't they? Selfish, self-absorbed. They don't give a shit about anyone else except themselves. Whereas a dog is different. Right on. Yeah, it's as humorous as I thought it would be. Yeah, man. Good song. Good song. Took me back to Garfield. So, Plea from a Cat Named Virtute appears on Reconstruction Site. It's the third studio album by the Weakerthans, released August 26, 2003. A song cycle about grief, regret, loss, and eventual hope, the album is thematically framed by 3 tracks: Manifest, Hospital Vespers, and Past Due, which set 3 different sonnets following a terminally ill hospital patient into the aftermath of his death to the same melody. Other songs examine the album's themes from different angles. Plea from a Cat Named Virtute is written from the perspective of a depressed person's cat. One Great City is about Samson's love-hate relationship with his hometown of Winnipeg, and Our Retired Explorer imagines a dinner date between philosopher Michael Foucault and a hopelessly nostalgic member of Ernest Shackleton's expedition to Antarctica. Yeah, his expedition was back in the mid-70s, wasn't it? Ernest Shackleton? I gotta look that up again. Guest musicians on the album include Sarah Harmer and Christine Fellows. The album's cover art was designed by Canadian artist and fellow Winnipegger Marcel Zama, D-Z-A-M-A. The song One Great City serves as the theme song to the Canadian television comedy drama series Less Than Kind. In 2013, the album made Ballast's list of the top 50 Canadian albums of all time. Alright, man. So, let's hit up our next track, that being Night Windows. Alright, man. The weather... Why do I keep wanting to call them the Weathertons? The Weakerthans. Night Windows. Let's get it.
the stick count for the song of knowing you're gone, glancing up at where you lived when you lived here. I see you suddenly alive and nearly smiling. Stop and hold my breath and watch the way you used to be. The full moon makes our faces shine like over-ironed polyester. Then disappears behind the clouds, leaves me under empty rows of night windows. We could walk to where these streets get pulled together, a blinking line with gravel shoulder squared towards an end, where the radio resounds from doppling traffic, where the power lines steal S's from the hourly news. Deep plural lies are casualties. Drown the generals out in static. We turn and watch our city sprawl. Send us signals in the glow of night windows. Night windows.
It's interesting how one little thing can spur so much thought
Night windows.
and perspective. Just looking out of the window.
Coming home again. Night windows. And I won't ever get to say. Night remember how I'm sorry that I missed the way you could home again. Night remember how I'm sorry that I missed the way I could get to say. Night windows. Night windows. Night windows.
He's a good songwriter, isn't he? Tells really, really good stories. Stuff that you can really catch the meaning, the visual. I got the visual of what he's trying to convey, I think. Very good. His perspective, man, is really creative. Man. I'm still thinking about that. What's the previous song? Plea from a Cat Named Virtute. That definitely is the jewel of this quad, but all of them are really excellent. And Night Windows, definitely I've got the visual from the perspective of the person looking either through or out from the window, and how it can just expand into so many things, how it can mean so much, you know what I mean? All of the stories and all of the history just from that window, for example. Very interesting. Night Windows. appears on Reunion Tour. It's the fourth studio album by the Weakerthans, released September 25th, 2007 in Canada and the US. The album was released on both compact disc and vinyl record. Night Window's title is taken from a painting by Edward Hopper and is written from the perspective of a man passing the window where a deceased loved one once lived. Right. The album was produced by Ian Blurton, who previously produced Left and Leaving and Reconstruction Site for the band. Blurton has described the album as the band's most experimental to date, and guitarist Stephen Carroll told Uptown that the album features lots of ambient stuff, tape loops, and some more keyboard than ever before. Prior to the album's release, the band released mock webisodes about the making of the record on the Epitaph Records website. Released mock webisodes. Okay. I don't know what that means, but hey. All right. So that concludes our look at the Weakerthans from Winnipeg. I got a good buddy that lives in Winnipeg. And the only time I ever go to see him and his wife Ella is in the spring or the summer. I'm really taking my chances with in the fall. So I really try to stay out of that winter zone from Winnipeg. Winnipeg is a beautiful city in the summer. Man, I gotta stress it. If you ever go through any Canadian cities from, I would say Alberta, all the way through Winnipeg. So Alberta, Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, that area, a lot of it is known as the prairies, where it's flat, windy, and cold, man. You know, in the summertime, it's windy as hell, lots of thunder showers and storms and all of that stuff. It's just like if you're driving through the Dakotas and Montana. Same kind of weather, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so just watch yourself going through those provinces, man, because the weather can change on you just like that. And I've actually even seen overturned rigs going through those flatlands, you know. And I said to my friend one time, I said, how come with such a flat front that I'm seeing overturned trucks, overturned rigs? And he said it's a combination of black ice and crosswinds. Crosswinds, if you're not paying attention, will literally spin your whole truck out of control, right? So it doesn't matter how big your vehicle is, you know, crosswinds are strong enough to actually take a vehicle out. Yeah, man. So if you're ever going cross country in Canada, remember this. I might have just saved you a lot of hassle. So this concludes our look at this great band. Really good sound. I really like the lead singer's, not only his creativity, but his delivery. How he delivers the lyrics is very good, because you literally get every single word and every single meaning, you know. And but then again, I do have to take another listen of This Is a Fire Door Never Leave Open. But overall, I get the gist of how he what he's trying to convey, and I dig the way how he does it, you know. So definitely the standout for me is the creativity and the vocal delivery of the lead singer. Absolutely. Good band overall, though. I'm just checking my notes here before I bounce, man. Got a couple of new patrons I got to take care of. And then Amy, Jack, AM, Jeff, CSN, got reactions for you folks coming up. So I got a busy week ahead of me. Another update once again with this platform. I am sticking to just doing a lot of variety just like this, from one day to another. It could be one thing, it could be another, and it's coming from all different sources all over the place. I'm really digging that. I'm talking this way because I recently had a couple of people ask me, and it's a continuous thing, how come I'm not giving any particular act the Led Zeppelin focus, the Led Zeppelin treatment? I don't want to do that on this platform for a couple of reasons. One, it would take away from the variety. And with this platform being my secondary platform, the classic rock platform is my primary platform because it's my personal walk, right? This platform exists as a result from a lot of people saying, hey, well, react to this, react to this, react to this. And I basically kept saying, well, no, it's not fitting within the parameters of classic rock, so I can't. And so a lot of people really got turned off, got pissed off, and all of this sort of thing. So literally it was a matter of being forced to create something on the side, because my existing classic rock base would not allow anything outside of what they deemed to be classic rock to be a part of the whole, right? It went like that, and it became a real crazy pissing contest. So I didn't want that. So this channel came out of that. I had no choice. It was literally, my hand was literally forced. Now, in saying that, I am having a good time with this platform. I really enjoy the variety factor. But getting back to that Led Zeppelin treatment, for one, I don't have the time because the classic rock platform, like I said, is my primary platform. This platform, I like to do a minimum of maybe or maximum of about 4 reactions a week, and it's almost more daily on the classic rock platform. So if I was to give any particular group the Led Zeppelin treatment, and just like Led Zeppelin did with my classic platform, if my subscriptions shoot through the roof and the demand for more reactions and all of this stuff starts happening, I would get overwhelmed and something would break. And I don't want to put myself in that place again, because when that happened on the classic rock platform, I was thinking to myself, with this classic rock thing, it's going to be a nice small little book club, right? And in about 3 years, I'll be up to 10,000 subscribers. And that's a nice, comfortable, steady kind of growth thing. That's what I visualize for the classic rock platform. I hit 10,000 subscribers in 6 months, man. And that changed my life completely. I had to change things to accommodate. And so I don't want to do that with this platform, because if my subscriptions go through the roof and there's just too much of a demand for reactions, I won't be able to keep up. And ultimately, I'll probably be forced to shut it down. But thankfully, it's at a really, really nice, manageable pace for me so far. If it changes, I might have to make changes, but so far, it's manageable for me and my time. And that's the most important thing, the time to do it. You got to remember, every single reaction that I cut takes up to 4 to 6 hours just to react, edit, upload, post, repost, and all of that sort of shuffling that I got to do. So it takes a tremendous amount of time, and sometimes I just don't have a lot of time to spare. So that's the reason why. Just answering those questions. I have a feeling it's going to be a continuous flow, and that's okay. Every once in a while I'll stop to address, because there's always new people coming and asking the same questions, so I understand. And that's the reason why I'm not giving any particular act the Led Zeppelin treatment for this platform. Just so you know. I'll answer that question again and again, I'm quite sure. All right, anyway, so getting back to Hayato. Thank you very much. I appreciate the recommendation. Thank you for introducing me, and I'm sure a few people, to this new band, the Weakerthans. I like their sound. They've got a really, really good sound. The lead singer definitely is a great singer and very clear, and he's the creative element of the band and the writing of the songs, and I really like his creative touch in writing songs. The stories he tells, fantastic. I love stories and song. All right, man, I'm out. Have a good one. Take care. And the next time you see me, yeah, I know Amy is up in another day or so. And I got Robert as well tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.